Greetings, everyone. My name is Paran, and I am a psychotherapist, clinical supervisor. And this is part of a series of videos and conversation I'm going to have about marriage and relationship. In our world of multiculturalism and different voices, different views, different perspective in life, we need to understand how marriage and relationship can help us improve life from and kind of in future how we can rely on the relationship and marriage in terms of personal growth and couple growth and in terms of family building development while being from various cultures that we all are in any way. So these are important questions to ask. Please share and subscribe to my channel. If this is the first time you are here, welcome. And I appreciate if you subscribe and let other people know about my presentation. I'm hoping that this will raise some awareness about the important questions we need to ask in terms of relationship and hopefully marriage. So, in times of love, affection, and courtship, there are tons of situations happening. I'm going to stay away the presentation that many researchers and scientists today are offering my colleagues about the what happens in our physiological kind of development in terms of love, connection, and all those hormonal changes. I'm going to stay away from that and kind of paying attention to the basic that many cultures, many people from various cultures, at times we are missing, we are not seeing it, we are not having that conversation, and it needs to be developed, it needs to be worked at. So I'm going to start with the basic. If you're in a relationship, you are seeing someone, first of all, ask yourself, these are questions. I hope that you can answer it. Do you have any voice? I mean, if you're in love, you have started to see someone, do you have any voice? Are you able to think and choose? And in terms of if you have the voice and choice, so what do you know about the interaction between a wise and an emotional mind? Wise mind and emotional mind. We need that integration in order to be able to decide in a healthy way. What's your view on couple relationship? And how much do you look at the signs for a safe, healthy attachment in the person you're seeing? And what do you know about those signs and kind of characteristic? So, how much do you say yes to everything and me too? Because in terms of love and those times of being in courtship and dating, uh, people constantly saying me too. I mean, we agree with anything that the other person say because it's a time of excitement, it's a time of kind of connection, and you perfectly agree with the other person because somehow you don't maybe think beyond what is the me too situation. And in terms of cultures, I have seen so many couples over the years that they come in and say, "Oh, we have different cultural background." And I'm saying, "Yeah, okay, let me know. I mean, how did you not notice it in the beginning? In the beginning, everything is okay. Your culture is yours and mine is mine, and no problem. We go forward." However, down the road, after the relationship is in a stable mood, or if it's in a stable mood, there are questions that they are going to ask. So before you getting there, I mean, think about it. What are the cultural backgrounds of you and the other person you're dating? What's the questions about ethnicity? Is that important? Is it not? How could it be important down the road if it's not important now? And what are the similarities? What are the differences? What are the values? the two of you have, each one of you have. What do you think about your own values, contrary to his and him or her, in terms of plans, hopes, desires, down the road, future planning? I mean, think about it. These are all part of who we are. And our culture is a combination of how we see the world, how we live our life, and how we are defining ourselves. So, in times of dating, yes, lots of flowers, right? And romance and beauty, which is beautiful if it's in a good way. Think about it. If there is any possibility for dating, how do you handle yourself? I'm asking the possibility for dating because in many cultures, girls especially, and even boys and girls, I mean, two people, there are not many possibilities of dating. In many cultures that I'm coming from too, girls, if they start to date, there would be mistreated by their male families in terms of that's not a culture, right? That's not part of their culture. And I understand. However, at times there is no possibility for people to get to know their partner beforehand, unfortunately, because tragedies happen afterwards, and especially in cultures, I'm sorry to say, at times in those cultures, the girls are not important, girls are not seen, girls are not valuable, and girls are being sold uh, in terms of marriage. So think about it. If in, I don't know about your culture, but ask yourself, in your culture, how is it about dating? Are you able to date? And if you're dating, what other people are saying about you or what they're not, or is there anyone paying attention, who cares or who doesn't care? So in terms of if you have living in an open-minded family type and you are dating, ask yourself, in terms of dating, going out to restaurants and this and that, what's the expectation of who is paying the bills? Unfortunately, I have seen many girls, they are relying on that boys, male paying the bills. And in terms of LGBT communities, they are the same. I mean, there are always expectation that one partner um, paying the bills. I mean, it doesn't matter male who female. Who usually we expect someone else to take care of us, and we need to ask why. And what's the expectations of gifts and flowers and all those things? I have seen so many couples arguing. I'm laughing because at times I feel like it is laughable. Think about it. Life gets ruined because of those gifts and flowers that someone is expecting to receive. I mean, in a rightfully way, yes, appreciation is about love and connection and gifts as well. But gift doesn't really mean, especially flowers, chocolate, and this industrialized world that everything is advertised and romanticism is being defined with the gifts. At times, expectations become a little bit unrealistic. So ask yourself, and how is the communication? I mean, discussion. Do you have any discussion about who and how we are communicating? What's the level of communication? Who is listening to who? Is there any fairness? Is there any respect? And is there any friendship? You know what? Going back to research, especially Dr. John Gottman, his research showing that relationship stays and remains sustainable, that there is friendship involved. And friendship means everything, included gifts and flowers. It's about love, respect, care, empathy, and all those good things, right? So, in times of dating, ask yourself these questions. And while feeling in love, I mean, in the process of feeling in love, how much do you care And do you try to kind of know about your partner's past behaviors in terms of anger management, emotion management, and interpersonal interactions? I mean, or do you have a blind eye on it because you're like, whatever has been the case. I cannot change it. Let's move forward. Yes, moving forward is good. However, it's always helpful to know how your partner is handling emotions in general. Point. Emotions means everything. Emotion describe at times how we behave, right? Our behaviors, our emotional thinking, and emotional responses. So that's why these are important uh, questions or paying attention to. And what do you see and notice about how your partner is reacting and acting? Reaction to situations that are challenging or hard or I mean needs a lot of tolerance and a lot of patience. How what's the person like? I mean, how is that person reacting and acting, and how much are you in love with the person? Is it the person or the social position of the person? Or is it the personality of the person, or all of them above? And how much about their, if they, it's their personality and characteristic, what about their cognitive functioning, and what about their challenges? These are good questions to ask. So now, in terms of having all those questions asked, and hopefully you have some answers in mind, it's time for yourself to evaluate yourself. I mean, your self-awareness is important too, obviously. And what is your level and ability for collaboration? Honestly, think about it. A courtship is a relationship, is a two persons' life together is about collaboration. There is a need for a lot of collaboration down the road. And how about your ability to be flexible, safe, secure? I mean, think about it. People who are getting upset because their text message is not being responded, their phone calls are not being responded. I mean, do you think they have safe attachment style? No, I don't think so. And these are people, I mean, at times they get reactive and emotional too fast, too quickly, and their judgment goes down the road, and it's going to cause them a lot of harm. So what are the things that bothers you? Ask yourself, see what is that bothering you? How, what type of behaviors of the person is bothering you, or other people in general? So know about it. Be self-aware. And what do you know about your own way of emotion management? When you're upset, when you're sad, when you're angry, what do you do? How do you do? How do you handle those emotions? And how do you at times excuse your disruptive behaviors and mood swings, if any? Of course, we all have it. At times we lose it. At times, because we are human being, we lose it. We make wrong choices, and our behaviors uh, is changing. At times we are like, oh, who did that? It wasn't me. But yes, it was you. And how can you handle it? So in times of personality match, I mean, some people go for pre-marriage counseling, which is a good idea in my view, not because I'm a counselor, but because this is good time for you to get to know the other person. And what about the personality match? I mean, we cannot 100% have a personality match, but these are those personality characteristic I think is important to know about. If you are a agreeable person means someone who is safe and secure and able to agree with others, live with others peacefully. Although the person is not 100% agreeing with the other person's opinion, that's okay. But the person can be agreeable I can be agreeable living my life knowing that everyone else has the right to have their opinions. Are you an introvert or extrovert person? And how is your partner? I mean, not that any of them are wrong. Both of them are important characteristic. If you're introvert, needing your own time and space, and or you're constantly looking for excitement out there, that's a question. And how about the consciousness? If you're a person who want to do good, and if that person is your partner as well, yeah, that's nice. I mean, if you want to be moralistic, taking care of yourself, taking care of your life, I mean, or how about neuroticism? Person who is anxious all the time and upset all the time or negative all the time. Not all the time, but all the time, somehow. And then openness, openness in terms of ideas, possibilities, looking into potential for change and all those things. These are good characteristic to think about. Personality match, I think it's at times is easy to see that yes, the person has good qualities. However, find out about what are those qualities and what's the name of it that you like. And before the big day, wedding day, so many excitement, so much of excitement going on. And the first question, who is paying for the wedding? And have you talked with your partner the finances before the wedding, for the after wedding, and how much it emphasizes on the dress and cake and flowers and ceremony? You know what? Unfortunately, I see that. I mean, in my own culture, big exaggerated type of weddings with hundreds of thousands of dollars spent on this and that. At the end, the two people haven't even talked about the day after the wedding. So ask those questions. What will happen after the wedding? What is your imagination of a wedding? How much time do you actually spend on the day of wedding? And how you planned out a lifetime living together? I mean, I guess it's good to think about those layers of this cake as layers of a life that we need to kind of build upon one another. And after the wedding, yeah, excitement is done. What's going to happen? And is the time to perhaps for some people who they haven't thought about. And before the wedding, everything was perfect. And yes, me too. Now it's time to think about the relationship with in-laws and attitude towards in-laws and the strength of the family or weaknesses of the family. Who is making decisions in the relationship and in the marriage? How is the conflict resolutions, and what's the level of empathy between you and your partner, and what kind of triangulations you're making? I mean, these are good to know, of course, before the wedding. However, unfortunately, sometimes people forget about these important concepts before the wedding because excitement is big. And again, in the multicultural and intercultural relationships, we forget about the fact that every single of these concepts at times are being handled differently in different cultures. So nothing, no culture can be wrong. A cultural and cultural factors and traditions, they are all beautiful. How can we integrate them? How can we manage them to be our culture? I mean, we need to have our own culture in terms of and creating our own culture. So to think about it finally is okay, what's the planning for the rest of your life? I mean, hopefully you had talked about this before the wedding, before the marriage, before everything gets serious. And what's the daily life like? I mean, so many couples they complain about, oh, life getting boring. Oh, really? You didn't think about how a daily life looks like. I mean, two people living together, and what are the chores, what are the responsibilities, and soon, in times for those of you who want to have child and planning for a child and childbirth and parenting, which is hard, and raising children today is really challenging. There are tons of skills you need to have, and if you don't have it beforehand, you will regret it once the child is there, because you don't know how to handle a child. Therefore, okay, to think about it beforehand is good. And what kind of arguments are going to be part of the daily life? Tons, tons. And what are the solutions? I mean, how do we handle a conflict? Usually, a win-win situation is best. No win lose. We don't try to make sure that the other person is losing because we want to win. No, that marriage is going to go down the road, is going to fail. That relationship is going to fail. Again, going back to Dr. John Gottman, he and his research team, I mean, that's the interesting thing. He's talking about masters and disasters of relationship. Those who master a relationship, they are those who are thinking about these challenges, the situations, conditions, and arguments, and they manage to kind of work on the daily life arguments, and they are not getting reactive. They are planning, and they pay attention to. They argue. I mean, argument exists. Not that it's bad. We need arguments. However, they don't fight in a cruel or one-sided manner. They don't try to make the other person feel like they are losers. No. That's why friendship and collaboration and empathy, they all is, I mean, they are significant parts of building a relationship. And here at the end, I would say that without having these skills, in my view, we need to kind of stay tuned and pause the relationship until we make sure that we think about these very important concepts. So good luck, take care, and write back if you have any questions. I would be happy to answer it, and let's have a multicultural, intercultural discussion about how marriage looks like in different parts of the world, and how we are seeing these concepts differently, which is beautiful. However, at the end, we need to integrate our way of seeing life and manage to live together. Take care, everyone, and see you soon. Bye bye.